ad hominem, and that's actually Latin for to the man, ad hominem, and that makes sense, right? Because that's the person who's being attacked. Now, two things I'd like to mention before we move forward. First, it's that logical fallacies are not necessarily bad strategies. It's actually quite complicated, but here's what I mean by that. They're not legitimate strategies in that they are not logically sound, but that doesn't mean that they aren't potentially very powerful, very effective in swaying an audience, potentially very persuasive, even when we know they're fallacies, right? So think of them as cheat codes in a video game. They are certainly not a fair way to play, and if you want to be considered good at a game or to really have beaten a game, let's say, you must do so without the cheat codes. But if you plug those codes in, we'd be lying if we said they didn't improve your performance, right? As long as no one points them out while you're playing in front of a crowd, you could seem pretty impressive, pretty legit. So the purpose here is for you to understand the cheat codes, to understand how some of these logical fallacies work, and to be a critical consumer of media. You know how the old saying goes, knowledge is power, and it's very, very true, especially in this case. The second quick note I want to make before we begin is a political one. So we are going to use Donald Trump to exemplify these logical fallacies here. This is not a reflection of political belief. Trump just happens to be a pop culture icon who is running for the most powerful political office in the United States. He also happens to have never held political office prior to this, and given that the bulk of experience that he has is in other professional domains like business and real estate and whatnot, he finds himself hard-pressed to piece together a sound political argument. It's a pretty straightforward fact. He can't really answer some of those questions effectively that he's posed about holding political office because he's never held them. If we think about it logically, if we consider who Trump is and what his experiences are, logically his campaign would be doomed. So rather than to fight what we all know would be a losing fight, Trump very effectively utilizes language to his advantage. So say what you will about Trump as a politician, the fact that he has run such a successful campaign thus far speaks volumes about the power of language and of rhetoric. And if you want to be president, start taking notes. So let's get ready to roll here. I'm going to run Trump's first speech in his campaign, the speech where he announces that he's running. As far as these speeches go, they become a dime a dozen as he continues to recite multiple versions of this one essentially on his campaign trail. So hopefully this one remains a bit more timeless than the rest. We will pause to discuss rhetorical strategies, rhetorical devices, and logical fallacies as they arise. All right.